Oh, hello everybody. Okay, I'm recording the continuation of my tutorial for the Atelier des Arts. It's a new day. Yay! We're having so much fun doing that. It's coming out beautiful, I think. I love working with this paper so much. So I just wanted to pop in and say hi before I begin. Okay, we're doing now section E. I think we're doing section E. Yes, we'll start section E. And I am going to switch off the views so that you'll just see the overhead. Okay, good. All the time I put the camera with this mat, I'm like, oh, if somebody's OCD and they will see crooked line, it'll go crazy. So I always try to make everything straight. Okay. Well, like I said, everything is already cut and scored and inked and taped. And I'm just putting these together, and I think it'll just get faster this way. Okay. You will have the measurement of the bases. And when I give you a measurement of the base and you're cutting the paper, it's always going to be over it. And just make sure that you have a border around it. So take this section and cut about a 1/4 inch less. So for example, if this piece here is 3 3/4 by 8 3/4 by 3 3/4, and we're going to double score that one, right? This one gets double scored. Okay. So this is your measurement. This is your paper. It is now 7 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, 8 1/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, by 3 3/4. So it's going to be 8 1/4 by 3 3/4. So you'll cut this to if it's 8 1/4, it's going to be 8 by 3 1/2. 8 by 3 1/2. So you just take out a 1/4 inch from your measurement. If it's 3 3/4 here, you need it to be 3 1/2 here. If it's 8 3/4 here, it needs to be 8 quarters here, 8 1/4 here. And that's your measurement, and it will leave an 1/8 inch border around. Okay, so that's that. Let's see, section E. Okay, the first base page, same as all of the rest, is 8 1/4 by 8 7/8, and it is double scored on the 8 7/8 side. That's your E1, that's your base. Because we're alternating, we're doing section E was top, section B on the bottom, section C on top, section D on the bottom, section E is going to be on top. Okay. So just so that we're not going to make any mistakes, we're going to go ahead and fold it. So we know this is our top right there. Okay, what do we have here? I have some fun parts. Let's open section E. Okay, so E2. Where's my E2? That's my E2. That's a top flap. It's 8 3/4, double scored on the 8 3/4 side by 3 3/4. Okay. So that's going to be my top flap. And it's going to be on the left side right there. So take E2 and put it on the top left side. E4 is going to be a flat pocket here. And E3 is going to be a right flap right in the middle, right there. Okay. So we're going to have a flap and then a pocket. So first we'll put the flap because the pocket will go over it. Okay, so E3 is 8 7/8, double scored on the 8 7/8 sides, which means over here, by 4 3/8. And we're going to take that and we're going to put it somewhere in the middle. So this is 8 1/4. I'm going to put it here and here. I like to use my grid line. Going to be about here. Okay, just about here. And E4 is the flat pocket, and it will go on the bottom right there. So E4 flat pocket is 4 1/2 by 8 1/4. You can make it a little smaller than 8 1/4 because you don't want it to go exactly over the fold. Okay. So maybe take a smidgen off. And I'm talking like really like 1/32 of an inch. This is how much I took off. See, just a little piece. If I'm going to align it to the left side, I don't want it on the fold right there. I want it a little bit to the left of it. So this will go here. I think this piece goes on top of that, and I will cut around it, so I'm not gluing it yet. I took this one, I think, from the 8 by 8. Remember, I'm showing you all of the pattern paper and the actual pad where I took it from. So let's grab the 12 by 12 pack. And this is the page right there where I cut this out from. All right, so I just cut this out. Let me just, okay. And I'm gonna be gluing this on there. I put tape on one area. The rest I'm gonna put regular glue. Okay. And I'm going to cut around it just a little bit, not too many zigzags. You just want very basic. And again, I'm leaving a black border around it. Like like that. Okay. And this will go over here. There's this one here. Okay, this here. Just putting together the pieces, which goes where. This goes here, and this will be here. Okay, and over here I think I might put something else. I haven't cut the paper yet. I wanted to see how it will all come together. That's my plan. I plan on putting this here, but I think I have some of the cream color paper left. Or the green. I have some of the green left. Maybe I will not use this. So I'm going to trim it here at 8 inches by 3. Let's do 8 by 3. Okay, let's go over the parts of the pattern. So we already said this one. This is the second, the back side where the door is. And I think this might be from the 8 by 8. So it's this page right there. From the 8 by 8 pad, it's this over here. And just take, I think I might have used this part here for another page, and I cut this out. So this is the second part of that page that I had left over. It's this one. So it's about 3 1/4 by 8. And I'm going to put this on top. This one is also from the 8 by 8. And let's see. It's this page. It is this page right here. It is this part right here. This is 3 1/2, I think. 3 1/2 by 8 from the 8 by 8 pack right there. And this will go on the top flap, on the top of E2. And we said this will be here. I have red solid cardstock. This is also 8 by 3 1/2. Will go on the other side of the top flap. And I have this side flap here. I have two things that go on top of that. I have this piece here. It's also from the 8x8. And this is from here. This is this part right there. No, sorry. My bad. It is from the 12x12. It's the right page, wrong pack size. Where are you? Where are you? This is it. From the 12x12. Now we're talking. It's right there. So this is 3 3/4 by 7 3/4. 3 3/4 by 7 3/4. And then we have this part. It's the same size as the other one. 3 3/4 by 7 3/4. And this is from the 8x8, I think. No, also 12x12. 12x12. This is the page. Yes, it is the top left corner of the page. Okay. The top left corner of the page. Okay, so that's that. Oh, I have two more things I forgot to do. Where did you come from? Okay. Oh, that's H. Sorry. It doesn't belong to this one. We're doing E. That's what happens when I leave things when they don't belong. Okay, let's take this one. We're going to put it on top of the band. And I'm thinking I need also to put a magnet in there. This is the top part. Now the magnet I'm going to put right there, and it'll close to the flap here. So we'll take two, 1 and 2. Put this in the center here. So I put it on the tape, and this is the back side of the tape. And now I'm just gonna flip it. And I have my placement. Okay. Very proud of myself for not forgetting the magnet this time. And now we can just go ahead and put all of the cuts together. So this solid piece, which is 8 by 3.5, is going to be on the back side of this top flap. And this is going to be in the top part of the base. Okay, you can also add, if you want, some glue in areas where you don't have tape. Put a little bit, you really don't need a lot. And the flat pocket, I already have tape around the 3 sides, and it is not glued over here because I want this area to remain open as a pocket. Okay, so here's a pocket. This one goes here. It's going to cover the magnet. Okay. And this will go in the back side of the side flap. Make sure this is taped good. A little glue. And that's it. Rather simple. Okay. I have a top flap here. We have room for photos here, room for photos here. We have a pocket, photo here. It's a very, very simple design, but look how pretty. It's really, really pretty. Okay. So that's E. Let's go for the next section. Section F. Okay, section F. Again, F1 base, 8 7/8 by 8 1/4, double scored, and this will be on the bottom. So this wing from F is on the bottom. Here I have only one of the sections cut, and it is to show you. You recognize it? I bet you are. Okay. And I also have this piece. So let's just figure out if this is from the 8 by 8 or from the 12 by 12. And I lost my phone. What did I do with it? It couldn't have gone far, right? It's on my desk. Here it is. No, it is the 12 by 12. It is the 12 by 12. Okay, it is this part right here. That I cut out from here to the center and over here. So it's 8 by 6, I think. And then I have this piece, which is just a remnant from another page that I had. And I probably took it from here. See, this page has a frame. I cut the frame out. And I used it from one of the sections. Okay. Also have a little piece of solid. I have F2, which is a pocket, large pocket, 7 3/4 by 9 1/4. It is scored twice on the 9 1/4 side, on both sides of it, 1/2 inch, and once on the 7 3/4 side. I have another pocket. It's F3, 9 1/4, scored twice on the 9 1/4 side, by 5, and it's scored once on the 5 side. And then I have a flat pocket, which is 8 1/4 by 1 7/8. That's F4. Okay. 1 7/8 by 8 1/4. Okay, well, I actually did not put any glue on this section, so I'm going to go ahead and glue them now. Go ahead and take this. I'm going to take this. For the flat pocket, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch tape. Okay. And I should have another small pocket here somewhere. I feel like I'm missing a part. Yes. Yeah, this is 4.5 by 4.5, and I scored it once on one of the sides. And I fussy cut this around, again, not too much, just a little bit, to put it the center, and then I cut the black around it. Okay, so you have the wing here, scored. And you can go ahead and glue this together. Got just a little too much glue there, so I'm going to spread it. Now this is how we're going to do it. Let's take the big pocket and I'm just going to take some of the extra out. If I can find my knife. Again, if you don't want to deal with removing excess from the double side tape, just use a narrower tape like the 3/8 one instead of the 1/2 inch one. All right, so this one I am going to put, remember we said the F1 is on the bottom, the wing is on the bottom. And I want to tape the pocket on the right side of the base. So I'm just removing partial out of here. putting it down, I just want to make sure it is nice and even and straight. And when I'm happy with it, press it down and remove the rest of the tape. Okay. So we have one large pocket here. The flap is down here. And take the second one. This is F3. I'm going to do the same thing with F3. Cut the triangle where the two score lines meet. Take the section out. And I'm going to glue this on top of the part we just glued. Again, leaving the opening on the left. Okay, here we go. And I'm taking the flat pocket and putting the flat pocket at the end. So this is layered, right? It's one on top of the other. Okay. So we're going to put this one here, this here, this here, and this here. So we have the flap here, and I'm going to do this as a partial of a pocket. So I'm going to add regular glue on the bottom, and I already have tape on the flap, and tape the whole thing on the bottom right corner. Okay. Okay. And The last one, I think I will put a tape. The reason I put tape versus glue is, on some papers or some project, depend on also what paper I'm using for the base. Uh, I I find that putting the double side tape eliminates wrinkles. If you're putting regular glue, sometimes it'll be wavy. So I'm still putting it down a little bit, but I apply it, I'm just putting a little bit of glue, not a lot, so it makes sure everything stays. The con, the downside of using double side tape is once you put it on top of the base paper, on top of the cardstock, it's there, it's very difficult to remove. So if you make a mistake, if you put it on the wrong place, it's tough. Versus if you're putting regular glue, it's much easier to remove, and then you can move it around, play around with it a little bit more. So, okay, so now I think this one goes here. It gives it a nice ending. And then we can put this here. Okay, so this is done. Now for these pockets, I prepared some cutouts with some cardstock. So these are called photo mats, because it's just one mat and you put photos on top of it. So I have one for 5x7, and then I have them for 4x6s. So this photo mat measurement, let's see, this is 7¼ by 6. 7¼ by 6 from 110-pound cardstock, and I rounded the corners. Then I cut out white cardstock, and I'm just going to put it on top of that with some tape. So when you're doing heavy cardstock for photo mats, it makes them very sturdy. They feel really strong and not flimsy, which means you can put them in and out and in and out quite a bit without them getting wrinkled or destroyed. On white cardstock, I don't put any regular glue, so I'm just going to put 2 rows of the double side tape. Okay, leaving a border around, and I have a line here I can put something there. I don't know. Maybe this, maybe something else. I can do that. And I have to trim the corners. Over here I can put something, right? If I have any remnant. I thought I prepared it. I don't know what I did with it. I'm just looking to see if I have any piece of paper that I can use. It's too short. Okay, I'm going to use it from here. I'm going to use this. Okay, let's make it about 1/4 inch. And it needs to be by by 7, I think. Let's do 7. Let's take it from there. Oh, cute. I'm going to ink it a little. Yeah, even the small pieces you want to make sure it has a nice finish to them. Oh, pretty. Okay, so this is one photo mat. I can put it here. And how many did I prepare here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 3 of these. Okay. Now, just remember, if you're already have your pictures and photographs that you know what you're going to put there, you can just go ahead and put your photos. You don't need to do the white card stuff first. And just take your 4x6s. I use it because um, it just indicates where the 4x6 photographs will go. So the photo mats that go over, because it's 4x6 photos, I cut those black cardstocks at 4¼ by 6¼ and it accommodates very nicely the 4x6 right around. Okay. Woo! Where did it go? Something that's not there. Here we go. That's one. You can also add stamp to it. I think that's a very nice touch. If you have the Atelier des Arts stamps. You can do that here. I can put this one here. Like that. And these we can put here. But they will cover it'll cover too much. I like it. I like this here. You can put this here. You can make a bigger mat here too. Whatever you like. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so these are my mats. Fit them in there for photos. And that's my section. Okay, so let's take a break and we'll come back. We'll do 2 more. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.